Today we're going to talk about common attributes of top performers. Um, Everybody wants to be a superstar in this industry. We all want to sell lots of cars and be successful. So today I want to share with you 15 attributes the top performers have so that you can decide and determine if you have any of those or if you'd like to obtain them and create those within you. First, you have to understand that top performers are not born. We're not born a top performer. Some of us are born with different personalities and different styles, but we're not born as a top sales producer. Top performers are rare. They are. Why? Because few people are willing to do what a top performer is willing to do. Few people are willing to go that extra mile. Few people are willing to make the sacrifices necessary to be a top performer, the training, the hard work, the education. Few people have the right work ethics to be a top performer. You have to have that strong work ethic. And there are three differences between top performers and bottom performers, and they are daily practice, the effort you put in, and the activities that you do. Now, just because you don't have some of these attributes doesn't mean you don't have the desire to be a top performer. Unfortunately, you just will never excel to that level if you do not have these attributes and apply them. Now, these attributes are attributes that you can create within. You can study, train, and become good at this if you so desire to be that top performer. So let's jump right into this. Today's not going to be a very long show, but I think it's important. So the number one thing attribute a top performer has is modesty. They don't toot their own horn. They don't tell everybody, hey, I'm the best, I'm the top performer. They stay quiet about their success. They let their performance do all the talking for them. We all know who top performers are. And when you're a top performer, you know you're a top performer. But we don't tell everybody. We don't broadcast that we're number one. Attribute number two is consciousness, okay? Good top performers are always ready to help somebody else, to make other people succeed, to help them. They're not afraid of the competition. They appreciate it. They look at competition as a way to make them better. They're always eager to help those that are less fortunate, and they are conscious about doing the next right thing. They're always doing what's right and should be done. Number three, a top performer has a lack of discouragement. They don't let slumps get them down. Look, we all have bad days, bad weeks, bad months. Some of us might have a bad year. Those are slumps. Top performers don't let them get to them. They realize that's part of what their daily makeup is all about. They understand that they're going to have these slumps. They don't get discouraged about things they can't control. If the weather is bad, the weather's bad. They can't control that, so they don't worry about it. And they never let their mindset get poisoned by negativity. They stay away from negativity. Me personally, I'm a pretty positive person. Sure, I get negative sometimes, but I try to stay away from negativity. I don't watch the news anymore. There's nothing on the news that is positive anymore. Now, do I know what's going on in the world? Of course I do. I look at news feeds. I cannot sit and watch an hour of, CNN, Fox News, ABC, CBS, any of these news channels. Nothing is positive. Nothing in that is making me feel good about myself. Number four, top attributes are people are upbeat. Okay, they're upbeat because they know they're going to succeed. They have those positive attributes that they know they're going to be successful. Number five is they're passionate about what they do. They love what they do. I love what I do. I really do. I always have been very blessed that I got into a career that I love what I do. And I think that has made me a top performer. It's one of the skill sets that I have. There's nothing else that I would want to do but be in the automobile business. And a top performer believes that selling cars is the best business in the world, that there is nothing better than doing what we do every single day. Number six, top performers are savvy. They think quickly on their feet. They know how to adjust things. It's like a quarterback that knows how to call an audible when things aren't going right, when the lineup is different or unique. They can figure things out fairly quickly as well. Number seven is they're highly engaged. They're immersed in their business. They live, eat, breathe, and sleep it. They don't let themselves have bad hours or bad days. When things go bad, they become positive again. And they love to be in the game. I love being in the game. I love being in the sales game. You got to love the game, and you got to want to win the game. That's very, very important. Number eight on is creative. Top performers are creatives. They have ideas that are unique and they think creatively. They're always thinking outside of the box. They're trying new ideas. And top performers listen. They listen to what other people do. There's an old saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you think you're the smartest person, you're never going to learn. You're never going to get better. And to me, that's a problem. Top performers, number 9, are empathetic. They understand that nothing is possible without humility. They're not afraid to pick on themselves and make fun of themselves. And when they make a mistake, to say, I made a mistake. They're empathetic about other people's hardship and they want to help them. And they're empathetic about their customers' real issues, about helping them find transportation that fits their wants and needs, not just all about selling a car and making a commission. Top performers, number 10, are accountable. They hold themselves accountable to a higher standard. Forget what their management team wants or what the dealership wants. They hold themselves accountable. They don't blame others for anything. They don't say, well, the dealership did not advertise, or we don't have enough inventory, or we're not buying the right used cars. They don't blame anybody. And if they don't succeed, they know it's their fault. And if they don't make a sale, again, they know it's their fault. That is an attribute of a top performer. Number 11, top performer is well prepared. There is no customer obstacle or objection they cannot handle. They are prepared for everything. They have studied every single angle. I always laugh about this. In the car business, when people object at the end of the sales process, we only get 3 objections. It's either a price or payment objection, it's a trade objection, or it's I want to go home and think about it. How could you not be prepared for those 3 scenarios? There's no situation they're not prepared for, and there's no product knowledge question they can't answer. They are prepared. Number 12, they're relationship driven. Top performers are relationship driven. They understand selling is building relationships with people and continuing those relationships. How can somebody be selling cars for 20 or 25 years in the same market, let alone in the same dealership, and still sell 10, 12 cars a month? They did not know how to build relationships. They are bond. They have a bond with their customer and they help people buy cars. They don't just sell them cars. Again, it goes back to, it's not about the commission. It's about helping people solve their problem, finding the car they want, that they need, that fits their wants and needs at a price they can afford. Number 13, top performers are hungry to succeed. They are much hungrier than the average person. They want it badly and it's deep down in their gut. They never let themselves get content. And they outwork everybody. And outworking doesn't mean they work more hours. They just work a little bit smarter on certain situations. They do better prospecting and follow. If you notice, top performers very rarely take ups. They work off of their own base of customers who come in, who refer people on a regular basis. 2 more to go. Number 14. Top performers are good listeners. They understand that selling comes by the way of listening. They understand listening is a skill and they practice that skill set. They listen to what the customers have to say. They listen and they learn. They spend time engaging with the customer in a way that gets the customer to open up with them by not being threatening, by not asking threatening questions that make the customer more defensive. And number 15, they have an open mind. Top performers have an open mind. They attend training whenever possible. They know that there's always somebody better than they are, somebody that they're chasing, but they want to know how that person is doing it. And they never say they know it all. If you're a know-it-all, if you think you know it all, I've got a suggestion for you. Get out of the business. 2 reasons: you're screwing it up for everybody else. And number 2, it can't be fun anymore. If you think you know everything, how can your day be fun? It becomes mundane and routine if you're not learning and growing. So those are the 15 attributes of top performers. Now, there's a bunch of questions coming in, and I said today was going to be a short show. So let me just grab a couple of these questions. Hold on, let me click. I think there's 4 or 5 of them already coming in. Oliver wants to know, if inventory shortage remains the way it is, I see no reason to practice. The customer's going to buy the car anyways, and there are no discounts. Well, Oliver, you're right. Customer today is going to buy. Prices are what we say the price is. But 2 things, Oliver. Number 1, that's not the future. This is going to change. My prediction has always been that it will change in the winter, spring of 2023. So we've got a little bit less than a year to go. And you're going to be going back to where you're going to have to really sell the customer. And number 2, top performers are still outperforming you. because they're still getting people coming in the door that are asking for them, that want to buy from them. And you know what? You might be selling for full list. They're selling for full list plus $200, and their customers are paying it. No one wants to know. Let me see. Everybody always says to work smarter rather than harder. And I just said that a few minutes ago. How would you define working smarter? Great, good question. Thanks for that one. Noah, to me, working smarter is taking advantage of the skill set that I have, which is right up here. It's my prospecting, it's my follow-up, it's staying in touch with my customers. I'm going to be honest with you. I think by nature, I'm probably a lazy person, but I'm also greedy. I want to work less and make more. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's a negative skill set that I have. But when I'm working, I want to make sure that I'm working smarter, whether it be in my presentation or demonstration, making the perfect presentation and demonstration, whether it be in my negotiation step of the process, where I'm negotiating as smart as I can, or then where it comes into my prospect and follow-up. I don't like taking ups. I have studied this. Ups have the lowest closing ratio, 13%. Now, it is a little bit higher right now because we have less inventory and less people coming in the door. I get that. Your highest closing ratio are going to come from things like phone ups and beebacks and referrals. And how smart you work with those people is critical. Take a phone up, for example. How good are you at getting that customer into the dealership? Remember, everybody's fighting the price issue. I don't want to go buy a car right now because I don't want to pay full list plus for a car. So if I were to call a dealership and ask for information, someone's got to be sharp enough to get me into that dealership. Ethan wants to know, how long do you recommend practicing per day? Well, Ethan, that's a personal thing, but me personally, I don't know, if you put in 10, 12, 15 minutes a day, I think that's sufficient. I don't want to practice for 4 or 5 hours. I play golf. I'll use golf as an analogy. You know, I'm not great. I'm not bad. I'm good. I'm an okay golfer, but I still go out and practice. Do I want to practice for an hour or 2 hours every day? Heck no. I want to play. I want to go out and play golf, but I still want to get better. So I do commit myself to about 30 minutes a day, whether I'm chipping, putting, hitting my irons or my drivers, and I like to watch videos, and I take those videos and I save them. And then when I go out on the driving range or the putting range or the chipping area, I'll play the short video and I'll try to practice something new that I've learned. To me, when I practice, I just want to know that I've gotten just a little bit better at something. I've just improved just a little bit. I'm not making my game go to an A game, but I'm getting better. All right, let me take one more question, then we'll wrap up for today. Kia wants to know, the Kia dealership, I'm assuming this is, why do you think the average salesperson only sells 8 to 12 cars per month? Well, ironically, I don't even think it's as high as 12 cars a month. I think it's more like 6 to 8, 8 to 10 cars per month. And again, today, I think it's an inventory issue. That's a given. In generality, because you all do the same thing. You make the same presentation as the guy or girl down the street. I could work at Chevrolet today and go work at Honda tomorrow and work at Toyota the next day. It's all the same presentation. So average is, we'll say 8, 10, 12 cars a month. So if you do what everybody else does and everybody else is average, well, guess what? You're going to have average results. So what you want to do is study those people that are your top performers. And what are they doing? Well, again, I sound like a broken record. They invested the time years ago in their prospecting and follow-up. They built a client base. That's number one. Number two, if you look at their presentations and demonstrations, they're all based around the customer. Here's the reason why. That salesperson doesn't have to do trial closes or make little innuendos because they know the odds are this customer is going to buy the car anyways. So their presentation is more defined about finding what the customer's wants and needs are and putting them in the right car. And then when it comes to the negotiations, well, guess what? They've already earned the right to ask for the sale, and money does not become an object. That's why they're top performers. And then once that customer is sold, they stay with that customer and they stay in touch with them. They reach out to them every 6, 8 months, remind them about oil changes. And if there's a recall, they're the first ones to call them and let them know. And they don't hound them every 6, 8 months for referrals. And do you want to trade your car in? Sure, if it's a 3-year lease and there's 3 months to go in the lease, now's the time to reach out and let them know. And their customers aren't even thinking twice. They're coming back to that salesperson. So the reason the average salesperson sells 8, 10, 12 cars per month is because you do what an average salesperson does. If you want to be an exceptional, if you want to be a top performer, you have to act, think, train, and react like a top performer. Is it going to come overnight? No. But if you put all the right things into play within a year or two, will you see dividends? Absolutely. In 4, 5, 6 years, dividends even greater. 10, 12, 15 years, phenomenal. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, I don't know if I want to sell cars for 15 years. Well, you know what? If you were making top performer money, would you sell cars 15 years from now? Of course you would. And here's the best part of all. Top performers, they don't work very hard. They really don't. People come to buy cars from them. They've created that environment. So, taking the thought into consideration, these 15 attributes of top performers, figure out what you can do to become a top performer, commit yourself to it, and you should see results as well. So that's it for today's show. Short, sweet, and to the point. I will see you all in a couple of weeks. I hope you're all being safe, doing well. Have a wonderful 4th of July holiday weekend. I hope everyone is safe, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope I inspired you. If you enjoyed the content, please like, share, and click the subscribe button. Once you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell so you can receive more content like this every week. And should you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them.